to my cluttered garage. I'm really glad you're here. A place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds of sun may come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
Hey, welcome back, my friends. I am really glad you're here on this May 6th, 2024 for live stream number 159. It's good to see you. Did you know that I am broadcasting now to Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram? I figured out the Instagram thing. Remember last week I was a little late figuring it out? This time I was able to go live on Instagram right from the start. So we are live on Instagram. Big deal, right? Yeah, pretty much. But we're out there. If anybody wants to watch from Instagram, we are out there. So it's just kind of fun to have another avenue, another platform. Well, anyway, thanks for being here tonight. If it's your first time here, please say hi in the live chat because we would like to appropriately welcome you to our Monday night gathering. Also, let me know or let us know how you found the channel. Was it YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? Which one of those platforms do you watch on? Maybe you watch on all of them because there are different things like Facebook and Instagram. You know, sometimes I post pictures and different things. So, anyway, follow me across the board. We do this every Monday night, pretty much Eastern time from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So, we'll be out of here by 8 o'clock so you can move on to other fun activities. In my case, that would be dinner. While you're watching tonight, at any point, if you give us the thumbs up, I'd appreciate that. Sometimes the screen does a little thumbs up thing when I do that. Not now. Not now. Well, anyway, if about tonight's show, well, we're just going to kind of free roll tonight like we've been doing, reading comments, replying to comments. Although I do have a topic that I want to talk about, a tractor topic, because I was just talking with a friend about this topic. And I said, you know what? Let's bring it up tonight and see what people think. So I do want to talk about a tractor topic tonight. And of course, later we'll do a sticker giveaway because that's always a fun thing to do. Meanwhile, while you're watching, if you have a question, post your question in the live chat in this format with the word question followed by your question. And that makes it stick out a little bit. So those are the ground rules for tonight. And then now it'll just, can go anywhere from here. So I do want to welcome you. Hey, by the way, uh, congratulations to all of us because today is International No Diet Day. Whew, how about that? And I read this as well. It's no homework day. I don't know if that's true or not, but if you have kids, let me know if they got homework today because officially it's no homework day and they should not have gotten homework. So I'll look at those comments, but let me know if your kids came home with homework today because they should not have. If they did, they can go back to their teacher tomorrow and say uh, it was no homework day. Do you know that? Speaking of which, I did not like school, and I'm not ashamed to tell you, I did not like it at all. Um, and for me, I think the primary reason I did not like school was homework. I have a theory that if I could have went to school and not had homework, I would have done twice as good as I did. Twice as well, twice as good. Hmm. Anyway, I'd have been better with English too. I would have done much better if I didn't have homework. Homework to me was just the worst experience ever. I hated it. Like you can't imagine how much I hated it. So my theory is a school without homework is going to be would be much better. I also think it's I think somebody could fight that. I think it's unconstitutional to send your kids home to spend 6, 7 hours in school, come home, spend another 2 hours on homework, or in my case, it was like 4 because I sat there and struggled with it so much and daydreamed and all. But I think it's unconstitutional. You know, if you go to a job, They're not allowed to make you take work home with you. You need to be paid for that work. I don't think you should go home with homework either. That's just how I feel about homework. You may have a different feeling. You may say kids need to learn to work, maybe a special project here and there. I get that. Homework? No. I say no to homework. If you're a young person in school watching this right now, uh, let me know what you think of that. Anyway, no homework day. It's also National Nurses Day. So if you are a nurse or know a nurse or have ever uh, experienced a nurse, I was going to say been touched by a nurse, but that wouldn't be. If your life was ever touched by a nurse, uh, we're honoring nurses today. There are a lot of other things out there, but those are the ones I picked out as a national day. So it's kind of fun to look at that. So welcome all this evening. Already got a super chat going tonight for the tractor fund. Thank you, John. John, you gave a super chat. Well, you're always so generous, and um, I would say that you probably bought a part for the Jeep with that. 1999. You probably bought the water pump. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. The Jeep is up and running. I hope you watched that video where I got the head in place and the first start. And we've been driving it around. We got it all legalized. Like we can drive it anywhere we want now. Uh, the insurance, of course, we're in New Jersey, so car insurance is pretty high. The insurance, we're going to pay as much for insurance every year as we paid for the Jeep. It's just how it goes. But it runs really well. It needs more work, and Jeeps always do need more work. Plus, this one's 24 years old. It's rusty underneath. It's not as bad as a lot of them. The transmission lines are very delicate. They're leaking. They're weeping. I did get one new transmission line, but the other one was not in stock, so I'm waiting for that to come back in stock. And then I think I'll tackle that because I don't want to lose a transmission line. I would trust this thing to drive. If I get new transmission lines, I would trust it to drive pretty much anywhere. Right now, I'm worried that those transmission lines could just blow and leave us stranded. But otherwise, the engine, I've been running it a lot, and I'm so happy with that uh, new head and that it all went together well. It just it runs great. And the transmission, I was worried about that too because when I first got it and drove it, that first mile before it overheated, the transmission slipped like between first and second gear. That has not happened again. Um, So I think by getting new transmission lines and keeping the transmission filled, I think it's in good shape. I looked up the transmission, and what I found on the internet based on the model of the transmission, I read that transmission, it's a 3-speed automatic. I mean, that's you don't see that anymore. It's on the internet. It said that transmission was developed by Chrysler in like 1962 or 1964. So it's probably the same transmission that a Dodge Dart had. Um, and I think it with just a 4-cylinder, it's not getting a lot of stress. It's a way old school transmission. So Chris regrets selling your CJ7. That was my first Jeep. Chris was in a 1979 Jeep CJ7. That's where my uh, love for Jeeps started. And I don't know why I like them. Why do people like Jeeps? They're not practical. They don't get good fuel mileage. Uh, they don't handle well. There's just nothing great about Jeeps, but for some reason, they're just fun. They're fun to drive. They look cool, and I guess that's it. But otherwise, um, they don't have a lot going for them. Maybe the new ones do. But I loved my CJ7, as you all might remember. When I got that, I had a 350 Chevy conversion kit in it, so that thing uh, was, as they say, a pocket rocket. So who's your handyman? Just sold your 98 TJ. Well, I had a 97 TJ a few years ago, a decade ago now, I guess. And I really liked it a lot. That was like when I always said, I'm going to get another Jeep. And then, as we raised our family, that didn't happen, obviously, because everything you do is for the kids. But I said, one day I'm going to get another Jeep. And I would say that a lot because I'm like, this is a disclaimer. When I get a Jeep, it's not a midlife crisis. I've been saying this forever, so don't think when I finally get one, it's a midlife crisis. I finally got one, Uh, I was about 40 some years old, so it was kind of midlife, but I got the 97 TJ. And so I finally got back into a Jeep. Only kept it for like a year because times were rough. We had to pay some bills. The Jeep went. But here we are with another one. I would still like, honestly, I would like a new one. Um, Newer. I like the new ones. I like vehicles that are a little more modernized, but this one's fun for sure. Bob has an O1 T. A lot of the TJs are very popular. TJ, see, you had the CJ, which was from the, I don't know, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s was the CJ. And then when the CJ, the model changed like all the way up to like 87 or something like that, they came out with the YJ, which had the square headlights, which kind of neat, but they called them the Yuppie Jeep, the YJs, but they were pretty neat. Uh, and then after the YJ came the TJ, which was more retro. They went back to the round headlights. This is the TJ. Uh, Very popular, very popular. People like that one. A lot of them have problems with frame rot. This one has some rust on the frame. Not terrible. I've seen worse, but it does have some rust. Some of them are completely rotted out. But uh, the TJ, and then then the new ones are what, the XJ or something like that. I'm not sure, but at any rate, hey, Nate from Massachusetts, love the channel and that flail mower. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate that. Um, so I'm seeing a question here. As I was saying, you post your question like this: did you retorque the head now that you've run it? Big mistake a lot of people make. No, Joseph, I did not. Here's the thing: in order to do that, I need to take the valve cover back off. I don't want to do that, but should I? Is that important to do? I don't know. I mean, you figure it. How does it work with a new car? A new car, you don't have to retorque the heads. Hmm. Anyway, thanks for that. No, I didn't do it, and I really doubt I'm going to do that. To be quite frank with you, there are some bolts on the outside of the valve cover on one side, but the other side are under the valve cover. So again, I'd have to take that off. So yeah, probably not. Probably not. So hello, Ross. Yes, CJ had leaf springs. YJ, Wrangler. YJ's had leaf springs too. Then they went to the coil spring and the TJ. That could be boring for a lot of people. I realize that. So before we get into a full blown or make this a whole Jeep conversation, um, I do want to talk about tractors because I promised this person I would talk about tractors. And I don't know if they're watching or not. But uh, so this is a person nearby, and she said that she wants to buy a tractor for her property. And the main thing that they want to do with this tractor is to move round bales. Now, I think they have like a 6-acre property, but maybe they get round bales delivered. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. The point is, what they want to do is move round bales. I don't think my B2601 will lift a round bale. I've never put a spike on the front to find out. It'd be kind of cool to do that. I know it can't pick up that full tote of firewood, even with my modified hydraulics. I filled that tote the other day with the firewood that I got for free on Marketplace. I knew it was going to be a lot for it, but I filled it to the top with firewood. I went to lift it and it would not lift it. I got it to the point where I could get it like an inch off the ground, and I moved it into place with that, but it would not pick it up. But before I did the modification, it probably wouldn't have picked it up at all. So anyway, I don't think that mine would pick up a round bale, especially because the lift capacity is measured back, at the attachment point of the bucket. Now, if you have a spike with a round bale, that's a lot of weight. That's what, 5 feet, 6 feet out in front of you. So I don't know. So my question was for you that I promised I would ask is, do you move round bales with your tractor? And if you do, what tractor do you have? And is it a tractor that you would recommend that this person purchase? I think they want to buy something relatively new, maybe even brand new if the financing is right. I don't know if an LX 2610 would pick up a round bale. Um, so that's the discussion point for tonight is basically lift capacity. I do know that you can get a spike for a 3-point hitch. 3-point hitch has a lot more lift capacity than the front end loader. You could get a spike that goes in the back, but that doesn't go that high. So I don't know how that works out for folks either. But let me know your experience with round bales, if you don't mind. Meanwhile, I'll be looking at the comments. So I see Dave from RCAF Polar Express. Hello, Dave. Shannon and Brian checking in. Good to see you. Mark from Anisto Key. Uh, Dave agrees with me. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. What do you agree with me about? I've already said so many things. Is it the homework thing? Yeah, probably so, because Linda is a teacher and hates homework. Well, that's more work for teachers too, because not only do the kids have to take work home to do their homework, when are teachers supposed to grade homework at home? So they got to take it home too. Telling you, I think it's unconstitutional. I think it goes against labor law. You should not have to do that. Just my point. Just saying. I hate that saying, by the way. I hate it when people say just saying. Sometimes I say it though too. Uh, I'm looking at comments. Oh, Linda, love the little lamb. Yeah, have you been watching? I've done a few shorts, and even in some of my main videos, we've had some shots of Ermelinda because she just follows me around and she's sometimes in the shots. She is doing so well. Uh, she takes that bottle like a champ now. She's up to 2 full bottles a day. I was when she was a lot younger. She's like a month old now. When she was little, I would feed her throughout the day, trying to get her to take the bottle. She would barely take it. Once she figured it out, she is a maniac. So now I've cut her back to 2 feedings a day, morning and night, about 12 hours apart. In fact, I got to feed her right after this at 8 o'clock, and 10 to 12 ounces, sometimes, usually 12 ounces. And I think she would keep taking more if I gave it to her. So I want to limit that because she's a maniac. Um, but just taking the bottle like a champ, and all day long she eats grass and vegetation. So she is healthy. She's walking on all 4 legs now. She's basically perfect. Her little umbilical cord is all shriveled up and still hanging there. I can't believe that hasn't fallen off yet. I thought that would happen after like 2 or 3 weeks. Still there. I don't want to mess with it. I'll be honest. Today, I, I tugged on it just a little bit just to see, but it was still kind of attached. So it's going to fall off. I know that. But uh, otherwise, she's perfect and cutest thing. It's kind of annoying how much she follows me around. We don't have her fenced in. We like to keep her just, she stays right in the yard. She doesn't wander. But when she sees me, she runs up to me. When I go in the house, she runs up to the back door and just screams her head off for me. She loves me. What can I say? Anne does that too sometimes when I go away. Cries for me. All right. Dave. Yep. Addicted. Yeah, you said you're going to buy one now, Dave, right? I think you should. All right. I'm behind on these, on these questions. I'm back with Jeep questions. We'll go to the tractor questions too, but I did get the throttle position sensor. Super easy to install, and made a difference just like that. It was with the bad throttle position sensor. It was bad meaning it was like fell apart because I guess I broke it when I took it off. Put the new one in place. I cleared the code that was the reading I was getting, and it was like before that it was like hesitating. Uh, Put that in. Perfect. Perfect. So yes, got that and put it in. So we're good. We're good. Um, I'm gonna go ahead here and I gotta get past these comments because I'm way behind. Way behind here. Okay. So back to the question about the tractor. Thank you, Bob. Question: what size round bales? Good question. Uh, John Deere 790 moves ours just fine. They're 5x4s. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I never thought about different size round bales. I just see them out there in the fields. I never had round bales, so I don't know. And Hoosier, the Kubota 4700, that's an L. Is that an L? Definitely big enough. The problem is they don't want anything too big. If you have a property that's you want to be out of a tractor that's maneuverable on your property. So there is such thing as having too big of a tractor. Chris doing the research for us. Thank you, Chris. According to the interwebs, a round bale can weigh between 600 to 2,000 pounds. That's a big difference. I think they were saying that their bales weigh about 900 pounds. So that's probably helpful. Figure 900 to 1,000 pounds. I think my Kubota lift capacity is 900 pounds, but again, that's at the connection point. That's not out 4 or 5 feet in front of you. Linda uses a John Deere 5525. That's big though, right? That's probably pretty big. And productive recreation. Craig says, I don't move them, but I think you'd want a frame size up or two from the B2601. That's what I was saying is I don't know if the LX2610 would have the lift capacity. I know the L2502 is still the same horsepower, but a bigger frame tractor. That might have a higher lift capacity. The good thing is this is all out there for your research pleasure. Yeah, Chris is saying the LX could get 1,000 pounds off the ground, but not sure how high. Hmm. Okay, so let me keep reading here. That's a great point there, Phil, to lift round bales with pallet forks. I never thought about that. Spread out the pallet forks and they just go under the round bale and cradle it, pick it up that way rather than a spike or a spear. So, good point. Yeah, good points. And Chris says probably need an LX or bigger. That's what I'm thinking. Um, well, there you go. Phil has a L3301 and is saying that it's pretty much all it can handle. So um, that's a big ask, I guess, for a little tractor to lift up a round bale. Okay, depends on the size of the bales. Right, right. David W says a buddy had to get a Kubota 6040L. His next size smaller could not unload round bales off a trailer. Yeah, you might be asking a lot for that. You may have to get a tractor that's so significant that it's going to be too big for other things you want to do. Good point, Phil, too. I've been hearing about this that the TYM has better lift capacity than Kubota. Um, Kubota needs to step it up, I think. These other brands are uh, outlifting them. So I'm curious. I would consider a TYM for a next tractor. I see a lot of them out there. Here's a tractor question from MB. Question: any updates on the Pat's Quick Hitch? Do you prefer it over the Harbor Freight Quick Hitch? Also, curious, which one pulls implements further from the tractor? You nearly extended the top link with the Pats. Correct. Well, here's the thing. Uh, I am still using the Pats. I've used it on a couple of different things, the rototiller and the finish mower. I've not changed implements too many times since then. Um, and I can't say I like one better than the other. I think I like the Pats for the very reason I said in the initial video. I like the Pat system because I can use it with any of my attachments. I have now 3 attachments that are not quick hitch compatible. That would be the bush hog, the finish mower, which technically they say it's quick hitch compatible, but you have to get an adapter piece for the top link. So that I could make quick hitch compatible, but the way it sits, it's not. So I've not been able to use the quick hitch with it. So bush hog, finish mower, and the flail mower. Hello, balloons. The flail mower, um, even though it's a land pride flail mower, I think it's an older model, so it's not quick hitch compatible. So I like the Pats because I can use it on any of the implements. Now, regarding which one puts the implements out further? I think they are both exactly the same. They add about 4 inches between the tractor and the implement, which is kind of handy, I think, for hooking things up, especially the PTO, the drive shaft. They do push back the implements about 4 inches. So for some attachments, I have to use my PTO extension. No big deal at all. Now, to your point that I nearly fully extended the top link, that's true. Um, but that's not because it's longer or the Pats is longer than the standard quick hitch. The quick hitch, you don't have to extend your top link because beyond the top link, the quick hitch has that hook. With the Pat system, you don't have that hook, so you're depending on that top link. So again, I'm probably going to buy a longer top link just to be secure there. But otherwise, it does not add any length different than the quick hitch did. So implements that I had sized for the quick hitch work fine with the Pats. Implements that required the PTO extension with the quick hitch also require PTO extension with the Pats. So yeah, so there's my answer, kind of roundabout way. At this point, I'm still quite happy with the PATS system, and I will use it a lot more this summer, and I'll get to really get a good feel for the quality of it, the usefulness of it, and how it holds up. But gotta say, I was before this, I was happy with the Harbor Freight Quick Hitch. I'm sorry for those, other sellers out there who sell a higher quality product. I bought the Harbor Freight because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, and it was super cheap, and it's held up pretty well. I gotta say, it's worked pretty well. Um, all right, let's go back to comments. Shannon, 600 pounds or so. I guess that's the quick hitch or the quick hitch round bale. 600 pounds. It's not too bad if your bales are that small. Small bale. Okay. Saying they're small bales. So, yeah, well, in that case, maybe you can get away with something smaller. I still would, from my own experience, if I could go back in time, not that this is like a major life issue, but I would uh, if the L2610 was available when I bought my B2601, it wasn't even invented yet or in production yet. I would prefer the L2610 over the B2601 just because little larger frame, little more lift capacity. Um, so I would prefer that. Now though, at this point, if I were to replace the B2601, I would leapfrog over the L2610 or the LX2610 and go with something probably even bigger than that. Maybe the L39 series. I don't know about bigger than that. I don't know. Not sure about that. Hey, that's fun, Ross. Look at that announcement from Ross. Ross had the pleasure to meet up with John from A Ritter Bit Will Do. Super exciting. Well, that is fun times. I'm glad you got to do that. So now I met Ross live in person in Canada, and John met Ross live. It's fun to meet people that you've talked to for a couple of years at least, and then you get to see them in person. And I hear the same thing from several people who are on YouTube, and then they meet one another, and they all say the same thing. Like they're meeting them, but it's like they already knew them. Yeah, it's not like it's just very comfortable because you really feel like you know these people. So very nice. All right. Okay. Well, good. You filmed some stuff. That's good to see. Brian is saying that a spike is lighter than forks if you're at the top side of capacity. Um, yeah, I guess so. I would think that a spike wouldn't be that much difference. I mean, if you still have the frame, and instead of having two forks, you got one spike, but it's probably longer than the forks. Don't know. MB, just roll it. Good point. Good point. You could get a tractor with forks or just use your bucket and maybe just push it around, roll it around. You probably want to take it off the truck though and take it off the trailer. I get it. Good point there from Craig. Lifting something off the ground is one thing, lifting it to a height is another thing. Unloading a trailer up high will demand more lift capacity. That's what was my point with the firewood tote. I was able to lift it enough to move it, like again, an inch. But I could not lift it up beyond that. So Dave says thoughts on Mahindra. I don't know much about that. I mean, Dave from RCF Polar Express has a Mahindra. I forget the model. It's the subcompact size. And I don't know. I don't know much about Mahindras being out there now. TYM is really big, I guess, because you see that on the internet a lot. LS is a popular tractor. Mahindra's been around a really long time. I don't see much about them though, so I don't know. Probably good though. Okay. Here's a comment from Ska Nomad. I recently upgraded from a B2601 to a Coyote CK3510 SE cab. It is so much more capable and air conditioning. Nice. I would consider a Coyote as well. I like them. Um, if you drive by quick, you think they're a Kubota because they're orange. But I have a neighbor with a Coyote. I ran it one time, just did do some land planing. Um, very uh, Tractor had a good feel to it. Very tight. I mean, it was new, but it was a nice size. Maybe it was the 3510. Didn't have a cab, but nice feeling tractor. I would definitely consider Coyotes as well. So good point with that. I'd like a cab with air conditioning, and I'd like a backhoe. I'll just check that off my list. Okay. Hello from Indiana. Good to see you there. All right. I'm going to keep reading comments and questions if you have questions. Then we'll do the sticker giveaway soon because this evening is going by very quickly, as they often do. Hey, thanks, Who's Your Handyman, to remind people to hit that like button because makes me feel good. Okay. Um. All right. Dave, thank you, Dave. That's what you have. The Emax 20S HST Mahindra. I didn't remember that. I knew it was subcompact, but the Emax. And of course, Dave says the Mahindra will lift more. So I don't know what the lift capacities are. Again, it's all out there on the internet. What is it? Tractordata.com, I think, is a good one. But the problem is you have to know what you're looking for. You have to search for something specific. So I guess once you find a couple models that you're interested in, then go to Tractor Data or just Google at that point and look up lift capacities for those particular tractors. I think they're all using that baseline as lifting from the connection point of the bucket. Is that right? or do they measure it different ways? Like I know Kubota uses the connection point. So from the pin, that's where the lift capacity is measured. Of course, you don't generally lift from that point. You figure if you got a bucket that's 18 inches deep, the lift capacity, it's lifting from now out further, which reduces the lift capacity. So I guess they have to make sense to measure it from that point because you could have different buckets, you could have different attachments. So you have to have that baseline and choose that point. I don't know though if John Deere, Mahindra, Coyote, LS, TYM, I don't know if they measure it from a different place. So you got to compare apples to apples. You got to compare tractors to tractors. Uh, yep. I did see a question here. Who's your handyman? Any new plants planted? I just today, this morning, uh, most of the day, I tilled. I've got the tiller on the tractor, and I tilled 2 areas on the property, and we are going to plant wildflowers, and in another section, vegetables. So we have a garden for the vegetables. I have the um, Silver Queen sweet corn that my brother so kindly sent me, and I'm going to plant a few rows of that. I think probably 3 rows. You need a few rows of corn for it to cross pollinate, germinate, whatever that, whatever the corn does when we're not looking. That's what it has to do uh, to uh, to make little baby ears. So I'm going to plant, I think, 3 or 4 rows, short rows of corn, and try that. Um, yep. So yes, nothing's in the ground yet, but it's going soon. I can't believe how the weather changed. I did that video where I got the free firewood. That was 2 videos ago. I found some free firewood on Facebook Marketplace, and I was dying. Like I was beet red. I was sweating. It was 80 degrees and humid. And then a couple days later, I actually lit the wood stove again. I thought I was out of wood, and then I found about 8 or 10 more pieces that had been sitting, so it was dry, and we lit the stove up again for a couple days because it was chilly. It was like going to like 53 at night, and that was pretty chilly. But now it was pretty comfortable today. It's warming up again, but it's hard to get those perfect days. They're too hot or too cold. I saw a question here. Oh yeah, from Oliver Orange. Hello from Boston. Hello, Boston. We have some kids up there. Can anyone give me an estimate on how much weight I should put in my ballast box for a BX25? Probably depends on what you're doing on the front end of the tractor. Have you filled the tires with liquid ballast, beet juice, so to speak? Um, that's going to be probably the first recommendation that people will make is to fill the tires, because that's just, you should always have weight back there. Fill the tires. And what I do, and now mine's not a BX, it's a B series. I've got the tires filled. Plus, I usually use my box blade as ballast, and I've never had any issue with rear ballast whatsoever. Um, but anyway, I'll let someone else answer this question. So read the comments, Oliver Orange, and maybe you'll find an answer to your question in the comments. A lot of BX owners here who could help you out. Okay. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. Deer is rated from the same point, the connection point. Makes sense. It does make sense. Oh, Peterson Farm has a new tiller. Nice. Congratulations. So does Ross. I love my tiller. I really do. It's a great piece of equipment. Oh, Olive Orange, no liquid in the tires yet. Yeah, definitely. I would say definitely do that. Uh, you're up in Boston, so you need to get something. I think beet juice is fine in cold climate. Uh, beet juice. What's the what's the brand? Rimguard is a brand name. There's different brand names for the stuff, but yeah, I would start there for sure. But even so, I don't like doing anything without something on the back of the tractor. Even though I have liquid ballast in the tires, um, I've rarely ever used the tractor without an attachment on the back to give it more counterweight. Uh, well, the backhoe certainly would be tremendous amount of weight, too much probably. Picked up a used box. So if you box blade or box for putting weight in. If it's a box blade, like I said, for me, ballast in the tires and a box blade, and we're good to go. Good to go for sure. Right, Phil. Ballast is your friend. Remember that. It is very important. Oh, ballast box. Okay. So, what does that mean? You fill it with rocks and stuff, I guess. I don't have a ballast box, but I guess they're made to put cinder blocks. Cinder blocks. They don't make cinder blocks anymore. Uh, Cement blocks. Anyway, check the comments, folks. If you would reply to Oliver Orange with your experience, I'm sure it would be much appreciated. All right, still checking over there on Instagram Live. Still there. Oh, I need to do something here. I forgot to set up the giveaway. So I'm going to do that while you're chatting amongst yourselves. For sure. That's what I'll do. Okay. Let me go back. Okay. So let me put this over here. Believe me, whatever I'm doing makes sense. Here's what we're going to do. If you're watching from Instagram, this is not going to work. If you're watching, you have to watch from Facebook or YouTube, and you'll be able to participate in this sticker giveaway. I'm going to put a word or a phrase on the screen. In the live chat, you're going to type the word or phrase exactly the way you see it. We'll wait a minute or two and then randomly draw the winner, and the winner will get a sticker giveaway winner. I will mail you a sticker or maybe a couple stickers. As always, if you already won these stickers and you want to not participate, give other people a chance, that would be nice. But I'm not the sticker police. So, shall we do it? Let's do it. Here's what you're going to do. In the live chat, type just as you see it. Hashtag no diet, because it's no diet day. National No Diet Day. It can be all uppercase. It can be all lowercase. It can be a combination of uppercase and lowercase. But you have to have the hashtag and no spaces. So type it just like that. Hashtag no diet. We've got some entries coming in. Look how Eddie Rollins did it. Hashtag no diet. MB, hashtag no diet. Basically, that's what you have to do. Nicely done, Jim. Hashtag no diet. Look how Kim did it. Hashtag no diet. Anybody want to do it in all caps? Just for fun? Doesn't matter. You can. So, what we do here, usually the music plays out, and then as the music ends, we draw. Okay. So, okay. I've enjoyed the conversation tonight. I hope you have too. And I hope that we've all learned something. Hope we were able to help one another out. That's what these live chats are great about, these live streams, because you can often learn from it. We've had so many people win stickers that there's not that many entries. Need to come up with some new giveaways. Last week I tried to give away that burnt valve, but the winner didn't want it. Paperweight on my desk. Maybe we'll do it again sometime. There's a 1 in 14 chance of winning tonight. That's pretty good. All right, well, let's draw. I like to try and do it right at the end. Didn't quite hit. Oh, productive recreation. Congratulations. So here's what we do. For those of you who don't know already, I will share my email on the screen for the channel. So email me at contactmcgtv@gmail.com. I'll need your name and your mailing address. Let me know if you want the round sticker or stickers, or if you want. We've got some of the bumper stickers left. I could send you either one. So let me know. I got these round stickers. I usually still have some of the 25,000 subscriber special edition stickers, which we're now at 40 some thousand. So those are relics at this point. So it's fun to pass those out. But anyway, send me an email, contact mcgtv@gmail.com, and name and address, and I'll get it to you. Just like that. Just like that. All right. Close that out. Any other questions? Let's look at the live chat for any other questions. No more questions. Nice. Okay. So otherwise, I was saying that I tilled up the area for wildflowers, so I'm going to be putting some of those in the ground, and you'll see a video on that. The wildflower video, I'll give you a heads up now, since we're a small group here, and this is like a very you're like the in crowd basically with the channel. You learn things faster than anybody else does because you're here on Monday night. Anyway, the wildflowers came from American Meadows, americanmeadows.com. I've been using American Meadows for 5-6 years. Hey, what's with the thumbs down? Did I do that? 5-6 years. A great product, great company, and American Meadows. I highly recommend if you are going to buy any kind of flower seeds that you check out americanmeadows.com. And they are a sponsor of the next video coming out, in that they provided the seeds to me. Now, I've always bought them in the past. This time they provided the seeds, and I promised to give them a shout out, which I'm happy to do anyway, because I don't give shout outs to companies unless I'm satisfied with their product. So you can be confident with americanmeadows.com. Great resource for learning about wildflowers. Look at that, MB. Your American Meadows seeds came today. Yeah, that's great. The Jeremy and Jordan that we sold the house to, they loved the wildflowers that we had when they bought the house, so they ordered a bunch of bulk seed, and they are continuing what we did over there at that house with the seed. So that's fun. So yeah, I just love the wildflowers because they're so easy. I mean, if you can get the ground prepared, that's the hardest part. And of course, we have the tiller, so it's not hard. But breaking up the ground, the seeds, you don't have to plant them. You throw them in, you rake them over, you drive over them, get them in the ground. They need a little bit of water to get started, and then nature does the rest, and they're just awesome. So lots of fun and just so pretty. Anyway, there's my little plug for American Meadows and for planting wildflowers because it's just great. I mean, summer's all about warmth and color and everything. So anyway, so it's Monday, the 6th. I hope you have a great week. I hope that you'll continue to watch the videos. You're supporting me by doing that, and I really do appreciate it. Can't thank you enough for that. I really love your interaction here and in the comments with the other videos. This is really all about community, and I just can't thank you enough. Good times. So thanks for watching tonight. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it more than I can tell you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time.